Black women, aren't you tired of the propaganda of us being viewed as strong but not soft, masculine but not feminine, combative but not pleasant? And this is what our men are saying about us. In the Black community, we were taught to be strong and educated, but not soft and feminine. Get on your feminine journey and join me on YouTube at Mrs. Danielle DeVita, my podcast, Feminine Energy with Danielle DeVita, or you can just book a session by going to mymentor.life/Danielle DeVita. Get on your feminine journey today.
So a lot of news is coming out lately about the Ahmaud Arbery case. Now, you remember that brother was jogging in the Satilla Shores neighborhood in Georgia, just exercising in a public roadway, okay? And he was chased down and brutally murdered by two white supremacists by the name of Greg and Travis McMichael, if you remember that video. I mean, very, very horrible video. The brother tried to fight for his life, but they just ganged up on him and killed this brother. Well, the prosecutor in the case has been brought up on charges. The original prosecutor, her name is Jackie Johnson. So a Glenn County grand jury, it said from former Brunswick Judicial Circuit District Attorney Jackie Johnson, she was indicted on a felony count of violating her oath of office and on a misdemeanor charge of hindering a law enforcement officer. Now, I say the indictment, from Ahmaud Arbery's death. They say, and how she tried to cover up and defend the murderers. This is what she tried to do. Okay, so the indictment was the result of an investigation requested last year by the Attorney General Chris Carr into how local authorities handled Arbery's case. Okay, so the Georgia Bureau of Investigation had promptly took over the case and found probable cause to arrest the McMichaels within 36 hours of the footage that was posted on May the 5th, 2020. Now, if they didn't have that footage, these two white supremacist terrorists would have got away with this. Understand that. The camera, cell phone camera, or even cameras around your home, and I advocate all black people, listen to me, get cameras at your homes. And if you can, get a 360 view around your whole home that you can see every area, and not just your front driveway, but even the side area pointing diagonally, so you could look kind of even who pulling up outside of your camera view, but have a 360 view of your whole home. Have that camera at the front door, because those cameras can be an assistance to people. When you have crooked police that's out here trying to do dirt, your cameras can catch the dirt. Or it could be a situation like this. Your cameras can catch the situation. You understand? So I'm always advocating for black people to film, to have a surveillance and everything. That's just to protect yourself. Now, the killers actually called the district attorney, according to pretrial findings, okay? And one of them said, Jackie, this is Greg. Okay, they say a recording has showed. They say, could you call me as soon as you possibly can? My son and I have been involved in a shooting, and I need some advice right away. Now, say records, they said, don't show that Johnson called McMichael back. They said, but according to the indictment, Johnson showed favor and affection to McMichael and interfered with police officers at the scene by directing that Travis McMichael should not be placed under arrest. No district attorney should be doing that. Understand? Now, say Johnson has previously denied wrongdoing her handling of the case and said she did the right thing by recusing herself. But the dirt was already done. She had a personal relationship with these guys, and she tried to cover up the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. And like I said, thank God the video came out, because this chick would have got away with it. This chick had been covering up crimes even by police officers. They had a police officer that actually killed a woman, a white woman, Then she didn't sit up there and put her in jail, him in jail for that. That same cop later came back and tracked down his ex and her boyfriend and murdered them. But if this woman would have done her job and put that cop in jail when he unjustly shot even a white woman, that other person wouldn't have died. You understand what I'm saying? All this covering up, that you having personal relationships with these DAs. This is why I tell black people about your local elections is important. You need people who are B1s for sure to be in these positions. Now, I'm not saying we like these white supremacists and we're going to be committing crimes and then trying to get our DAs to cover it up. No. But at least we know that if one of the brothers and sisters is in there, they're not going to put up with this corruption that happens at these police departments, these good old boy systems. And understand that Mzungu female, she works with her male now to make sure it keeps going on. Now, say, according to the indictment, Johnson failed to treat Ahmaud Arbery and his family fairly and with dignity. And then she did not disclose that she sought assistance from another district attorney before he take the case. Now, she passed it on to another district attorney, Mr. Barnhill. He said the same thing. Oh, nothing was wrong. I mean, shoot, they don't need to be arrested. They would have got away with it if the video wouldn't have came out. And also, after the backlash, Jackie Johnson was also removed from office because the voters came out to vote to get her out. Once again, I'm a big believer in your local elections and your state elections. You got to be involved with that, brothers and sisters. That presidential election, your local elections, because these people are going to affect you. Your judges, your DAs, your sheriffs, your city council, your school board, your mayor. Those people really affect you. A lot of y'all go quick to go vote in that presidential election, but you don't want to vote at all locally. That is silly. You should be voting heavy in your local elections, and that presidential election, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to go in through that right now. But this woman was indicted. It's not just her. It's many more throughout the country need to be indicted. It's not just not the race soldier now, because everybody want to focus on the race soldier and what he's doing. The race soldier can get away with the things he's getting away with because he got DAs that's allowing it to go on, and you got judges as well that's allowing it to go on. It's the whole system is corrupt to the core. It's rotten to the core. And so when you talk about the race soldier, you must talk about the race soldier prosecutor and the race soldier judge. You must talk about all of them. And those judges and DAs can be removed if people galvanize and get out there and get them out. But at the same time, not just getting them out, don't let them be replaced with the same thing, but having, some brother or sister who's a lawyer in that city, who y'all know got a good track record, who's a good moral brother or sister, who understand they need to fight in those positions. Get behind them and get them in those positions. We need to get all the white supremacists out, and you can do a lot of that. This is why they're trying to make it harder for you to vote. This is why. Because the more and more brothers and sisters, listen, they numbers decreasing. We know that from the census, right? So the more and more that you increase, get involved politically. Get involved. Vote. You're going to have to do that. I'm not, some people say, I don't want to vote. Listen, I'm always going to be the biggest advocate about voting locally. Always. Because I understand the power of voting locally. Get involved with that, ladies and gentlemen. Get involved with that. If you never want to vote in the presidential election, you don't have to. But get involved locally, please, because that directly affects you. Well, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the situation with this criminal, Jackie Johnson, a criminal that tried to cover up and help the murderers of Ahmaud Arbery. Like I said, they all corrupt. I'm telling you. And it's just not her. More and more you're going to see come out with all this.
Diary of Dark One's Son is a look into the thoughts, opinions, and experiences of a young black man who is wrestling with the tough task of trying to make something out of himself in a very racist and hateful environment. It covers in detail the thoughts of a man as he observes and eventually learns how to cope and deal with the world around him. It is a story of a man who, while beset with many obstacles, learns how to overcome them in order to accomplish his goals and aspirations. This book is not for the faint of heart, and the opinions that are shared in this book can be deemed very offensive to some readers. If you think that you will be offended by the opinions shared in this book, the answer is simple. This is not the book for you. This book is merely the opinions of one man, and it should be taken as such. However, if you really wish to gain insight into the thoughts of a young black male in today's society, then look no further. Read this book. Excerpt from the book. From the chapter, Am I Visible or What? One day when I was walking home from school, I came across this other brother who was walking my way. In his eyes, I could see the sadness, the same sadness that was in mine. I knew exactly what was going through his mind too. He was feeling like an absolute nobody. How did I know, you ask? Because I was feeling the same way at the moment right when I walked past him. Have you ever felt, if you are a black man reading this, that you were invisible to the world? Not because you want to be, but because people refuse to acknowledge your presence. Read more when you purchase this book. This book can be purchased from lulu.com.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out the African Diaspora News Channel app in the Google Play and Apple App Store.